When it comes to putting together the actual plot, what would
Hmm.
you say is the most important aspect to focus on?
Yeah, so this might sound bizarre, but the most important thing to focus on when you plot is character. Um, Character is the most important thing about a story. Readers don't really care about the plot itself, so the gunfights, the arguments, the car chases. They only really care about those things because they're happening to a character that they relate to, or at least that they can identify with in some way. So the first thing I do when I sit down to plot is I outline what I call the five foundations of a relatable protagonist. And those foundations are a wound. So this is an event that has damaged your main character, either physically, mentally, or emotionally in their past. I then give them a scar, which is the resulting emotional baggage left behind by that wound. In other words, it's their flaw or their flawed belief about themselves. I give them a want, which is the external thing they're pursuing in the story. A desire, it could be, I don't know, in a heist movie, they're after a particular painting or whatever, that kind of thing. Then you give your character a need, which is the transformative lesson that they need to learn by the end of the novel to take them from that flawed place that they open in to a semi-healed place at the end of the novel, or at least a better version of themselves than they were at the start. And then the final thing I give them is something unique. That could be a skill, a symbol, a talent, something that only belongs to them. And if you do that, the great thing is that you've kind of got your plot already starting to form, because you know you need to take your character from this flawed place at the start to a a changed place at the end, and your plot will help you inform that. So, say for example, your character is their flaw is that they're massively afraid of conflict, and by the end of the novel, you want them to be in a place where they're comfortable engaging in conflict. You would then be throwing plot events at them that force them to engage in conflict the entire way through the novel. I mean, you should be doing that anyway, because conflict is massively important. But in this example specifically, and then as the novel progresses, they will slowly begin to deal with conflict. And then by the end, they should be actively engaging in conflict. So that's one example. But if you've got the basics of your character down, I think that informs a lot about your plot and the types of events that you need to throw at your character in order to make them change.